Today we're pumped because we got our new push seeder from Drip Depot to plant directly into our plastic mulch.
It's going to be really awesome to save us a lot of time, and let's see how fast we can get all of our beans planted today for the first succession of plantings.
So today we'll show you how this seeder works. Drip Depot is kind enough to send it to us. We're longtime customers of theirs, and their customer service and the products they sell have always been top-notch in my opinion.
Yep, and their shipping is always super quick. It always shows up right away, which is great when you're dealing with farming and watering things, because normally you need your stuff right away when you decide to order.
Right. In the past we've hand seeded. Last year, our first year using the plastic mulch, we hand seeded all of our beans and some other things all into this stuff, and it takes a long time.
Took me forever.
A lot of bending over.
Yep.
And this thing should save us on all of that, and we're really excited about it.
Let's get into it. Let's get planting. We have all of our beans that we saved from last year's garden, and today we are starting with this variety right here. But real quick, before I actually get to planting, I want to show you what I used to do last year. So last year I had my bean seeds. I would poke a hole, I'd put the bean in there, cover it up with my finger, and then be on to the next one. And you can see we have some long rows to do. So that took me a really long time. This is going to be such a time saver. Let's see how it works. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to load some seeds into here.
Into the hopper.
And we can get them out, so I'm going to put that many. I don't know how many we're going to do. Put it in there. I want to start like here maybe, and I want to just follow along on my drip. See how it clicked open right there? I'm gonna go for it. Hopefully it's just fine. So since we are not planting into the soil, we're planting on this mulch, we're gonna remove this little piece right here that would drag and pull the soil over the hole that it made to put the seed in. So I'm just gonna take it off of here.
Force it. There you go.
It's just gonna hang out.
Let her rip. Geez, look at how wobbly those rows are.
Trying to follow the drip.
Fair bit faster than doing it by hand. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, we'll see if they pop up through those little holes. I'm excited though.
You really don't think they will?
No, I think they will.
Yeah, I do too.
I think they will, but we will see.
That was slick.
That was nice. Succession one of the bush beans that we've been growing for a really long time. We'll do another succession back there in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. And oh my gosh, that saved so much time. Okay, next variety.
So to empty it,
this part, I know it goes like that, but I need somewhere to pour it. This is like a tiny hole.
don't spill.
It's gonna spill.
Don't
This is
spill.
a bad idea. Always talking me into bad ideas. John, you're picking all those up. We're gonna pour them into a bucket so I don't have to aim so much. Hopefully.
Don't miss. Tool's pretty heavy because it's designed to put your seed down into the ground.
Now I'm gonna get whatever's in that wheel out of there. And this little mat. We have all of that variety out, and the kids get to play bean pickup. More beans. What you're going to watch next took me 2.5 minutes in real time. You're watching a sped up version for the sake of saving time, but how much time this is saving us planting the beans this way is truly amazing. I just really cannot stress it enough, especially for someone who is growing produce at our scale or a home gardener. This saves so much time if you want a significant amount of beans and you want to plant them in something like plastic mulch to help yourself with weed pressure down the road later. And you could of course also use this tool to direct seed into the soil without the plastic mulch. I wanted to share a little tip that we learned as we were experimenting and using this tool for the first time, and that is that it would be much better if we wouldn't have turned on our drip irrigation beforehand, because some of the holes that were poked, like see right here, you can still see the bean seed. It's really hard to see, sorry, because of the lighting, but the bean seed is in there and it didn't get covered up because since the ground was already wet, the soil did not fall back into the hole after the seeder moved past because our irrigation had already been turned on and it was very wet underneath the plastic. So live and learn. Next time we use this seeder, we will not turn those rows on as far as the drip under the plastic ahead of time, because it would just make seeding way easier. So what we did end up doing was going down the row, and if we notice spots where there was a depression from the seeder poking a hole, we would just quick move some soil over it and go on to the next one, and just made sure all the beans were fully covered with soil so that they could in fact germinate. And what we're going to do next is an experiment to see if beet seed will work. Let me try this one. Here's our line. We have 4, 1, 3, 3, 4, 1, 7, 4, it missed there, 1, and 5. So for beets, that's a little much because each one of these seeds, if it germinates, will actually turn into 2 to 3 beets, I think it is. So like if a bunch of these germinate, it will be too thick in order to actually produce like nice sized beets. We're gonna go back and try the smaller seed wheel. There we go. Well, I just learned something about how to effectively use the seeder. Right here, this was our path that we did with the slightly larger seed wheel, so that's the one I just counted for you right here. And then I changed the seeding wheel to a smaller one, and I did this path over here. So at first glance, you would think, oh, it's kind of similar, if not pretty good. So we have 2, 2, 3. Well, that one got squished when I went over it. 3 about, this one was with it. 4, there's another squished one, maybe 4, 4, here are 2, here are 3, and 1, and a 2. Okay, and then I went back down the middle of this section, right between these two, and nothing came out. And the reason nothing came out is because it will load all of these with the seeder. So you have to kind of give it some time to get through all of the different beaks on the seeder in order for it to start coming out. So since we put this smaller one on here, right here, it didn't allow any of those seeds to actually go in order to come out of these different beaks over here. So you kind of have to give it some time in order to see if the size you pick is going to work. You can't just start it and assume it is working. If it works the first time, you have to give it some time to make sure it's really accepting new seed. So we are going to go with this size for beets and not this size. This was a little too small to accept a beet seed. So I'm going to change it right now, and then I'm going to go seed some beets. We are changing our seed wheel again. This time we are seeding corn. It's colored that way so that you can really see it very nicely. We used number 55, it says right here. This was the one we used for our beans, which worked really well. We're gonna try number 33 for our sweet corn. Hopefully that works. I don't know, but we have to try it out. Very important to test it every time with a different seed. Number 33 is going in. See what I see? Right here, there are seeds in the different compartments. Oh, it's hard to see. Okay, so see right there, there are seeds in the different compartments. There's one in there, one right there. So let's see if it pops them out nice. Okay. Our 2 test strips right here. We have 1, 2, but it got squished. 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. That's pretty great, actually. We have 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it skipped right here. And then 3 individuals. I think we'll go with that seed wheel. That definitely looks fine. Now it's time to get the sweet corn all planted. Once out in the cornfield, seeding this corn was actually really easy. What you're going to mostly watch me do is fix our plastic mulch that we're going to plant into because it had been blown off by the wind and wasn't done completely correctly from the tractor. And this is 100% biodegradable and compostable mulch film made from starch-based material. So this stuff is supposed to completely decompose and go away, and we're not going to have to remove this at the end of the season. We decided to do this year because last year our weed problem in our cornfield was pretty extreme and we wanted some sort of a solution, so we're going to try it this way this year. Just like that, about 30 minutes later, all of these rows are planted. Now it's time to see how they germinate and how they pop up through this plastic. Because growing corn in plastic, this is a first for us. And while we're talking about this push seeder, I want to show another application that was super handy this year. When we went to put in a bunch of things like beet plugs, we ran the seeder up and down the rows empty in order to create a pattern and poke all of those holes, and then it made the transplants really easy to just pop them right in those holes. So we will definitely do that again. It's been about 3, almost 4 weeks since we planted these seeds, and I wanted to show you the germination. So these are the green beans, and I think they did pretty well. There is a little bit of missing happening, but that could really be due to a lot of different things. Maybe the bean seed didn't get enough water. That could be a problem that happened. Maybe something came along and ate the bean as it was coming up. That happens sometimes. Sometimes they get snipped right at the bottom as they're germinating. There's a lot of factors to take into account as far as why there are all of these holes, but I will tell you this, going and hand seeding them took me so much time last year, and this gave us so much time back that we could use for other things. And as you can see behind me, from all the weeds and other things that need to be tended to, there's a lot of things to tend to. So I really do appreciate having the time back and using the seeder. These are the green beans. We're going to take you and show you some beets that we seeded next. Right here, these are the beets that we actually just used the planter as a jig to poke the holes, and then we transplanted a bunch of beets. That was a super helpful way to get all these beets planted, and they're looking really good. And then right here, this is where we decided to seed those beets. And you can see the way they're coming up is pretty spotty. Some pods, we have a lot of beets coming up, and some are completely blank. And that, again, could be due to a lot of factors. Maybe they weren't getting adequate water in there. Maybe a seed wasn't dropped, of course. And I need to add that we know another issue is the fact that this seeder seeds about 2 inches into the ground, and beets require about 1/2 inch seeding depth. So that is definitely a factor to take into account with the beet seed in particular. This was a lot more time efficient though than transplanting all those plugs, starting all those plugs and then transplanting all those plugs. So I just wanted to show you how it did with the beets. We're going to take you out to the sweet corn next to show you how it did out there. And before we head over to the sweet corn, these are some beans I seeded, I think maybe 5 days ago, and you can see how they are starting to pop up. When the other ones popped up, I kind of went around and made sure everybody could come out of their little hole just like that. But you can see they're still working on germinating right here, but this is kind of what it looked like early on over for the other beans. And we'll give them a little help and get some of them out of here. Over to the corn now. And out here we have the sweet corn that you saw me seed with the seeder, and it looks great. The germination looks outstanding out here. I will definitely say that. You can see the first planting that we transplanted over here. So this is the first planting that we transplanted, and these are the ones we seeded with the seeder. They look great, like really awesome. Of course, we have a lot of grass coming up out here. This is our first year in this field, so we're gonna have a lot of grass coming up. But I just wanted to show you the results, and these are the results. John's just shaking his head back there saying it looks good. That's about it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. I am so thankful to be able to use this. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope it answered your questions about this poly planter, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.